G'day everyone, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'll be Nat. This will be my Knackers Yard and this will be the last commute on Sting. So I thought what I'd do is a little bit of a recap, a bit of how we got to, but more importantly a bit of a potential buyer's guide, not to Sting but to CB400s writ large. Right, what I'll do is I'll jump back in time to when we first got hold of him. Check out what he looked like then, check out what he looks like now. Alright, let's do that while I drag this out and get ready for work. Right, so we have a 1994, I think, Honda CB Super 4. Kind of the baby brother of the Super ones. Yeah, so let's have a quick look-see over it. Start the front, let's do the overall piece. It is on the V5 as purple. This is a spray can job, I think, or a home job. It's been well enough done. It's got a bit of sparkle in it, bit of sparkle, no sparkle. Not quite sure what's happened there, but nothing that can't be sorted. From the front end, tyres fine, discs fine. Haven't quite looked at the pads yet. There's not too much lipping or waviness on the pads. The wheels, both front and rear, look freshly powder coated, which is nice touch. Forks fine, a little bit weepy on the left, but I think that's cleaning rather than replacing, because it's not flooding out, so people get really panicky about seals, and actually a bit of plastic carton will probably clear that out quite nicely. If they were leaking, they would be wet. They are damp, which probably touch wood, touching my head, means that I should get away with a clean on that. Two horns, yep, fine. Minging indicators, but they do all work. I have had the battery on charge, so let's just do a left, right, left. Happy. Carry on with some of the electricals. Horns, slightly damp, but yeah, they work fine. Lights, I don't have a light switch, so I think this is lights permanently on, but that light is not on, so I think that's bulb, because full beam works fine. Also works on the flasher, although not an MOT requirement. Moving up, top yoke, yeah, it's just a bit nasty. It's been hand painted badly at some stage. Clocks, got 52,000 on the clocks, but it is a kilometre clock, so that's good, that's low. This is really sun faded and you can see the light through it, but it works. What else have I got? Got some Renthal bars, albeit in a slightly odd colour for the bike. Moving back, engines grotty but doesn't look too bad. Radiator don't look too bad either. A little bit of home DIY tapage going on. Now the carbs have got this seal overlap, so it's not got proper seals in there, it's been sealed with gunk, so that's probably not helping. So it's probably a carb repair kit. I do want to take note of what shape and size they are, and I don't want to order them until I've got them. Be right back. Right, so yeah, not looking too bad. Bit grotty, but not too bad as things go. Shocks are grotty but salvageable. Frankly, I don't know if they're any good ones. They do look like proper Honda ones, which is nice. It's actually got mud guard, which seems to be chain guard, sorry, which seems to be one of the first things to get stripped off. Covers are okay, back end's fine, repaint required. Quick look at the brake, yeah, on the pedal it works fine. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see on the lever it works fine. Any more. Little stubby exhaust, which should sound quite cool once it gets a decent idle out of it. Rear wheel, again, freshly powder coated under all the keck, which is nice. Exhaust, grubby but pretty good, and looks to be stainless steel. Happy. Yeah, more gunk on there. Tank, pretty big ass dent. So somebody's been riding this with massive cojones because they've hit those at some stage. I should be able to pull a fair amount of that out. I do have a pulling tool that I'll film again using that and give that a go. Failing that, I have quite fancied the idea of going inside a tank and knocking it out. Now I've actually got a decent angle there, you can see. So I might give that a go as well. Not done that either. Give it a go and see what happens. Yeah, carbs are definitely needing some work, and Alex said just exactly the same anyway. He says there's a pinhole leak in one of the fuel pipes as well, so it is definitely a carb-tastic. So see if we can get any activity out of it, shall we? Right, it's going live on this. Let's see how we get on. It's all staying cold. All I've really done is charge the battery. It was on. Choke it on full. Okay, so back to the present day, regrettably, because I've got to go to work. And let's take him for a final wander. A little bit of choke while he warms up, and we're off. So, that was 9 months ago. Just put my lid down because he is a loud boy. That was 9 months ago, but it's one of my longer, I say it's one of my longer projects. I mean, Sting's been done for probably 3 months, but I've just been using him as my day bike. And regular viewers will know that I'm on the sort of edge of the ULEZ area, and at the moment I don't need an ULEZ compliant bike, so this is fine. It's not ULEZ compliant. This particular one is 1994. As you saw in the previous bit, it's had a fair amount done to it to get it up to the standard it is now, which isn't perfect, don't get me wrong, but it is good as far as aesthetically, if nothing else. But right, so looking at CB400s and the differences of this one and the other ones, what's common? Everything pretty much apart from the exhaust. So this has got a 4:1 stubby on it, as you can hear rumbling away in the background, and it sounds fucking awesome. Now I've had all sorts of weird and wonderful exhausts, Akrapovic, Black Widows, Yoshimura, etc. I think this one sounds brilliant on this bike. So why? Well, it is 4-cylinder, 4:1 with a stubby exhaust. You can't go wrong. So this one just sounds awesome. They don't all sound like this, and it just sounds like a bigger bike, and that's kind of, it's a bit of a false endorsement of CB400s, but they feel like a bigger bike, and that's it. It hits it in a bit of a strange category. So size wise and everything else, it is it's just outside of the A2 license requirements. I think it's like 41 kilowatts. So, you know, just outside. So it would be restrictable to an A2, and indeed I was tempted to do it on this just to increase the potential sales market. Pulling away in second then, I thought he sounded a bit laboured. Yeah, so it's restrictable to an A2, but it's not quite there. So it is, you know, you need a full licence in the UK to ride one. If you've got a licence in the UK, a full licence, you're probably not looking at 400cc bikes. You're probably looking 600 plus, or you're looking something sports-like or tourer. But you know, generally for newer riders, you probably want something quite nippy, and you'd overlook something like this instantly. You would at your peril, because it's bloody brilliant. They really are nippy little buggers. It is like it's like a little mosquito. It just zips around things. So stats wise and heights wise and all that sort of thing, I've on my previous videos talked about how light it is. It's not actually that light. I looked it up and it's just shy of 200 kilos, which is actually, you know, it's not heavy. It's a midweight bike or a lower midweight bike. There you go. It's medium rare. But the thing about it, the weight on it is really low, and I think that's what I've been misinterpreting as being light. The weight is really low, which just makes it really lithe, really manoeuvrable, and contributes to the fun factor of riding it. And that's kind of the bit that amuses me more than, or the bit that gets me about the bike more than anything else. And that's just the fact that it's so much fun. Now, I'm sure most people will just skip through mid-range bikes or mid-sized bikes and go 125 and then jump on something bigger and hoon their life away and have great fun and kudos, because that's what we all do. But you know, my slight plea is don't forget about middle bikes, because this is just so much fun. So I've been living with it for fuck's sake. Get your foot off the brake, you idiot. I've been living with this for about 3 months now, longer than I normally do on a project. I tend to ride a bike and have projects, not ride my project bikes, if you follow the slightly convoluted logic. And it means that I've got used to this and its little idiosyncrasies. The main one being that the battery that I put in it was crap. It died on me once. But you just get used to, you know, the idiosyncrasies of the bike. Now, I love absolutely everything about this bike. It is bloody brilliant. If I would change one thing, it's that the front suspension is a little bit spongy. Now, I could try some heavier weight oil in it, I suppose. And frankly, if I was going to keep this, you know, in perpetuity, that's probably what I'd do. It's a little bit spongy on the front. Not to the point where it feels weird or it feels loose or it feels dangerous or anything else, but it's just a little bit, you know, kind of on a rattly. No, it doesn't quite feel solid. The rest of the bike though just feels fucking phenomenal, and it might actually be just because the rest of the bike feels so good. The front suspension doesn't quite feel up to it, doesn't quite hit that high bar that the rest of the bike does. So I mean, it is a fucking scream to ride, and I can't compare it with other CB400s, other Super 4s, because I've not ridden other Super 4s, but if they ride anything like this, then you'll have a massive laugh on it. Reliability wise, I kind of want to do that whole, well, you know, it's a Honda, but well, you know, it is a Honda. So with all the time that I've spent on it, the majority of it has been on the carbs that were, frankly, they needed that amount of work because they were just in shit state, they'd just been neglected. And Alex, who I bought it from, had you know, admittedly kind of codged them together because he just wanted to prove that the engine was sound more than anything else. So I spent a lot of time on the carbs, spent a lot of time in it, and I hated this bike for a while, chasing issues, chasing errors. You know, is it starter? Why would it start, then it not start? And that wasn't the bike's fault. That was modern shopping practices fault, because I'm pretty sure that I'd ended up accidentally buying fake NGK spark plugs, and they just weren't up to the job. So I bought some, you know, decent Iridium ones. Not that I bought cheap NGK ones, to be honest, but there's a lot of fake ones on the market, and a lot of the vendors are unaware that they're fake as well. So, you know, I can't get too huffy, but it's just I chase an error for a while. That's really all I've done. I haven't had to do cam chains. I haven't had to do any of the valves. You know, it's held itself together fucking beautifully. I can't remember if I've done the fork seals. I don't think so. I know I've changed the oil. I don't think I've changed the forks. Can't remember. yeah, I've had to do nothing in the engine. I haven't had to crack the engine at all, which is a testament to Honda, I think. So you know, they do just rattle on regardless. So reliability on them, I can't fault it. I cannot fault it in the slightest. The electrics are sound. I have had different indicators on it. I went back to bulb ones because LED ones were crap, but that was my fault for putting crap ones on it. You know, basically the bike has wanted to live and has fought to do so. So the reliability is fine. Rideability and comfort. I'm a tall guy. I'm around the 6'3" mark, and I fit on it. But I'm on it. I'm probably at the edge of people that could ride it comfortably, and not look bloody stupid more than anything else. But that said, even though I am, you know, on the large side for it, or on the tall side for it at least, it's bloody comfortable. The seat, they don't make seats like this anymore. This has actually got more than enough padding in it. The suspension obviously is adjustable, but suspension's enough to carry my weight. I'm not that heavy, I'm just very tall. But it is just really, it's a nice place to be. Bars, these are Renthal bars rather than the original ones, so they might be slightly higher than the originals, but it's a nice broad seating position, and it's blooming comfy. So yeah, but the ride wise, the main bit about the ride is it's just got lots of low end. I haven't done a motorway on this. I think I might feel a little bit vulnerable hoiking around on a motorway. I mean, top speed is billed as 115, I think. I haven't had anywhere near that, obviously, because I'll be breaking the speed limit officer. But I've not done motorway traffic with it, so I can't really comment on it. I would feel a little bit vulnerable. I think that's probably more because it's a little bike, but it's also naked as well, so you know, you would be a bit exposed. There's nothing to say that, you know, a bug screen wouldn't be a good idea on it, and frankly, if I was going to continue commuting through the winter on it, it's probably what I'd do, just to make life a little bit more comfortable. But in weather like this, you just want to be out in the elements, don't you? So CB400 Super 4s. This is an old 194. Cost wise, anywhere between £1,000 to £2,500. You can get a half decent one. I'm going to be putting this one up shortly for sort of around the 13 mark, I think. Not because it's not decent, but you know, I'm not trying to make a fortune. I just want somebody to enjoy this bike. So what? They're really reasonable for price. Insurance is low because it's only a 400, and it's just miles and miles of smiles. Great fun. So if you get the opportunity for a CB400 Super 4, yes, get one. If you're going to be hoiking down motorways on it, maybe not. But if you're going to be having a Sunday ride out fun, or even commuting on it, it's pretty much perfect for it. Absolutely perfect. Assuming you're not in an ULEZ zone, which regrettably I am, which is why I'm going to have to part company with this wonderful machine. Yeah, so if you get the opportunity, grab one. They are freaking awesome. And for those that are longer term viewers and that have been following Sting for a while, and my frustrations and jubilations along the way, this is probably going to be the last time we're going to see him en masse, you know, apart from maybe, you know, in a lingering back shot. So from Sting to you all, farewell. It's been fun. It's been frustrating, but I think those low points just make the high points higher. Wonderful, wonderful machine. Cheers, buddy.